All righty. Thank you guys for joining me here today for our intermediate YouTube for Realtors with MCRTC. Very excited to be able to doing this class. A few months ago, we did an intro to YouTube for Realtors. That was really good. Got a lot of great feedback on that. YouTube is definitely very hot on the brain for a lot of people because there's a lot to utilize with it. So I'm excited to talk about this with you guys. We are missing quite a bit of people that were supposed to be here, but that's okay because you guys will just get a little bit more specialized knowledge then. And we'll go ahead and get us started here. I do want to thank MCRTC for allowing us to have this class, and I think it's a great benefit to the members. A little bit about me. My name is Lucie McGuire. If you don't know who I am the Business Development Officer of Aero Title Services, locally located in Stuart, Florida. And during the pandemic, I have really delved into social media more than I ever have before. And during that, I have started 2 different YouTube channels, technically 3, but 2 that I've really been focused on, which is the Aero Title Services YouTube channel, and which we have almost 300 subscribers on there. And then I have my personal one, the Traveling Lucie, that has over 500 subscribers so far. So it's been quite a journey. There's definitely a lot to learn with YouTube. There are so many ins and outs and facets to be able to make sure that it is a viable source for you to be able to stream people into, but it's one of the #1 ways to be able to do so if you do it properly. And one of the things I've been saying throughout the pandemic is that the one thing in life that is constant is change. If anything, we see that so much in the real estate world, just in itself throughout the years, but even more so over the past year and a half, where we have really delved into the aspect of social media and how important social media is for our businesses. We've seen a lot of growth with it, and it's been really exciting. I've done a lot with social media on Facebook and YouTube, and I always try to help other realtors get their faces out in there. We have a market update Monday that we do every Monday, or every other Monday actually we do now, and that is for local realtors to come on and showcase their listings. Right now, that's few and far between, but we talk about the market, we give people updates, kind of like what we talk about the Realtors Association. We're giving it on a public platform for people to be able to learn about. And then we have a Thursday's Top Tips in Real Estate with local realtors and lenders, and we talk about different topics from the buying side of things. Like yesterday's topic was affordable housing, and it was a very, very good topic. So any realtor is allowed to be on that. You guys are always welcome. It's free. There's no stipulation to being a part of it. So you guys are always welcome to be a part of that. If you are interested, just feel free to message me. But we really just want to try and help you guys get your face out there. It's technically free advertising, so it's a great way to do that. But that's what we've been doing, just really plunging into social media. If you guys don't already, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, which you'll be seeing some of today too. And that's all at Aero Title Services. Really quick, I went over these stats in my original class. I hope you guys have all watched the class that I did a few months ago on YouTube. The class this is the follow-up to, but I just want to go over these stats again, really quick. The fact that there are 2 billion people who log in monthly to YouTube. It is owned by Google. So that is a huge aspect. I mean, I cannot emphasize that enough, that it is owned by Google. So that really makes it a search capability that is important for any of our businesses, no matter what business you are. 74% of Americans are watching YouTube videos, whether they realize it or not. Before the pandemic, I didn't think I used YouTube that much. And I realized, wow, I actually really do use YouTube a lot. Like, I was using it to find karaoke videos or whatever it might be, like things that I was just searching, and like YouTube videos would come up, and I didn't even realize how much I was using it before I was aware of it. And it is the second most used social media platform currently, which is a big thing. So I think it definitely does get overlooked sometimes because video can be kind of daunting for some people, but there are some ways to make that easier. And hopefully you guys will learn some of that today. And, the quick thing that I mentioned as well back in the last one was should you avoid YouTube? Like, why should you be utilizing YouTube? And it is because it is a search engine, which can only help when people are Googling you or trying to find information. It is a huge resource for people to be able to utilize, and people are going less to articles and more towards videos. You think about your own habits. When's the last time you read an article or like something that came up on Facebook? If it was like an article that someone posted, how likely are you to actually click on that article? Or if someone posts a video, like how likely are you to just click on the video and watch a little bit and see if it interests you? So it's definitely one of the most important aspects of our industry right now, for sure, which I don't think I have to convince you guys about that at this point, hopefully. And the fact that it is ranked number 2, so by monthly users, higher than Instagram. And the fact that getting more personal with your clientele is very important in our industry because of the like, trust, know aspect of our industry. We all know that this is why people do business with us, is because they like us, they trust us, and YouTube is just another way to be able to solidify that with your clientele and show your presence in the community and what value you're bringing. People want to get to know you without having to get to know you, is what I say all the time. And social media is a good way to do that. So yeah, just get more personal with it and don't be afraid of that. Before I kind of go into like the meat of what I was going to talk about today, I know that a lot of you guys have already watched the beginners class from last time. Is there any questions you guys have starting that you have from the previous class that you've watched? No? Okay. And you guys can feel free to utilize the chat, raise your hand, unmute yourself and talk, whatever it might be. Feel free to interrupt me. I will be monitoring the chat in case you have any questions. So I just wanted to make sure that I asked that before I moved on. So going right into the number one thing for when you have your YouTube channel, I think that you really need to, one of the number one things, because there's a couple of different aspects, but the video analytics of YouTube are really important for you to understand. When you post a video, are people watching it? How are people responding to that video? Are you doing something in that video that you should be doing in all of your videos? How are they consuming that information? And I don't know how much of you guys have actually delved into the video analytics of your channel. I'll actually go ahead to that that analytics page now so that you guys can see it. But some of the things that I want you guys to know to look for when you're in those video analytics is the click-through rate, the traffic sources, the impression funnel that you'll be able to see, and the average view duration are some of the key aspects you want to keep in mind when you're looking at your analytics. So really quick, if I go to the analytics of our channel here, first and foremost, how you get to your analytics when you're on your YouTube channel. So let's say you're on your channel. And then you go to the top right corner over here, and then you go to your YouTube Studio. So YouTube Studio is where you'll find your analytics. Going into that, you'll automatically be on your dashboard, which will kind of give you some highlights of your channel. Some, like, we just hit our 10,000 views 3 weeks ago on our channel. It shows you your latest video, your current subscribers, and how much you've gained in the last 28 days. So it kind of just gives you some highlights of some of the content that's going up right now. But when you go into the category over here where it says analytics, there's 4 key aspects in here that you want to, that it breaks it down as. It does the overview, it does the reach, engagement, and audience. So when you're in the overview aspect of this, you're gonna see automatically what it was in the last 28 days. It's gauging that you can change this, you can make it the last 90 days, you can make it over your lifetime. You can see over our lifetime, we've gotten 10.9 K views. We've had 766 hours of watch time. We've gotten almost 300 subscribers, and it can show you over that time. So that's just been in the last Not even, it's just over a year now because we started like end of March, April. So it's been good. But I'm going to go back actually to the 28 days. And you can see, you know, you have your views, you have your watch time, and then it shows you about like, oh, is this about the same as usual per the last 28 days or the previous days before that? So it shows you if you're like kind of on track, the same as you have been. And then it shows you how many subscribers you gained in that time. What's really nice about YouTube is that you could not post videos for a month or 2 months or 3 months, and you can still get traction from your old videos. Old videos can like come up and become viral all of a sudden, which is why YouTube is so powerful compared to every other social media platform. Think about when you post on Facebook. You post on Facebook and it filters out. If it's been 2 weeks or 3 weeks, nobody's seeing that post anymore. Same thing for Instagram. You know, the first couple of days are the biggest days for that post. And then it's kind of just filtered out as you put in more content. It is the opposite for YouTube. You might post a new video that has really great content, and it is important for you to get that information out about your new video as soon as possible to people, because the traction from the algorithm, if you get people watching it right away and it seems like they're looking at it a lot and they are watching the full video and they're interacting and they're commenting and liking it, that looks good to the algorithm of YouTube. But that doesn't mean that that video won't be successful if you don't get a lot of people engaging with it in the first day or two. So a video from 4 months ago can all of a sudden bump up and get thousands of views. And that's one of the most powerful aspects of YouTube that you always have to keep in mind. So whenever you're doing a video, you want to make sure that you're optimizing it the best you can, so that if ever that topic or whatever you're talking about does come up or people are highly searching it, that you have the best odds of being selected as that video. So that's those like bare basics right there, just of what it's showing you, the overview, and then it shows you your top videos from that specific period. And this can be very helpful for you to understand, one, what are people like looking for the most right now? Because all of these, the videos that are your top videos because those are what people are searching for. So for instance, our top videos in the last 30 days have been our owner's policy versus lender's policy for the title insurance and what the difference is, and the 10 basic steps to close on a house. What is a title commitment? What is a title search? So there's some key aspects just in this realm here that are very important. So you can see just in the last 28 days, we've gotten 330 views just on this video alone. We posted this video in July. Oh, it's been just over a year ago. So we're still getting 330 views in a month, over a year later. So you have to realize the power of that. The content on YouTube lasts forever. And then showing the average view duration, this is an important aspect to look at too, because you want to gauge how engaged are people in that video. If this video wasn't popular, like let's say it was like, for instance, this one, welcome to this channel. That's not even a good example actually. So all of these videos are popular, but I'll show you some ones that maybe aren't. Like for instance, right here, we'll look at this, our latest video. I just posted this yesterday, 19 hours ago. So we've only gotten one view, but of that one view, you can see here that they watched it for 30 minutes, which is good. You know, that was our long video from the affordable housing from our Thursday's top tips that I was talking about. So of that one view, that's good. But you know, you want to gauge the average view duration, which what that's doing is it's showing you this specific video they watched for 5 minutes and 52 seconds. What this percentage right next to it means, the 49.4, that means that is 49.4% of that video that they're watching. So if that makes sense, like here, 3 minutes and 34 seconds is the average view duration. So they're watching 55% of our video. And that average view duration, you want that obviously to be very high. Like for instance, this is 5 minutes and 21 seconds. You know, you can't compare it to this one. This video is doing way better because 50% of the video is being watched, whereas this one, only 22% of the video is being watched. Even though this is a longer video though. This is about like an hour, 30 minutes long or something like that. So keeping those aspects in mind and looking at these percentages can kind of give you an idea of how much the video they're actually watching. So going a little bit deeper into the analytics, when you go into the reach, it shows you even more so. So you meant what I mentioned earlier was the click-through rate. This is where it shows you a little bit that, and I also talked about the impression funnel. So right here, you can see that the impressions that we've had just in the last 28 days, remember, was 14.4 thousand views, or impressions, not views, they're impressions. So that is either YouTube or us posting it on Facebook or whatever it might be, whatever the people that could have potentially touched our video or clicked on our video or saw our video was 14,000 people. The click-through rate is the amount of people, like the percentage of those impressions that actually clicked on the video. Your click-through rate is really important to think about, because that click-through rate is going to dictate, one, are people even clicking on your videos? 4% might sound very low, but it's actually pretty average. So average channels that get good, like that are getting traction, are between 4 and 5%. So if you see that your click-through rate is at 1%, you need to go and look at your thumbnails, which we're going to talk about thumbnails in a little bit, because those are like one of the number one things to be able to keep in mind too, because that click-through rate is like literally directly correlated to your thumbnails. If people do not feel the need to click on your video, if it pops up, think about when you're watching a YouTube video. There are videos that pop up on the side. When you're done watching the video, there are videos that pop up to suggest to you. All of those aspects, if YouTube's recommending it or whether it's a related video, it has to entice you enough to want to click on it, to be on that, to watch that video. And your thumbnail, which is the cover photo of your video, if that is not engaging enough, if it doesn't entice them to know what you're about to talk about, they're less likely to click on it. And then you're going to get less return on people watching your videos. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But you can see that here and how that fluctuates. Like just last week or a few days ago, it was at 5.6%, which is really good. And then it shows you your views and how those fluctuate, and the unique viewers. So these are views that we have gotten, but the unique viewers are 680 different people or different accounts. So you scroll down a little bit further and you see we have our traffic sources. These are important to know about, because when you post about these on your social media page, it'll show you whether you're getting it from Facebook, if people are clicking on that link from Facebook, whether it's coming from some external feature, a browse feature. So if someone's browsing on the home page, if they're getting it from there, on the channels page, if they're getting it from suggested videos, or YouTube search. Now, this is huge. If you're getting it from YouTube search, that's a big aspect, because that means you're doing the proper SEO formats for your video so that people can find your video. Remember Google. Google is a search engine. The more information you give Google, the more it is able to. The whole point of Google is to, when you search something, they want to make sure that they connect you with the exact information you're trying to find. If you post a YouTube video and you're like, house for sale, and it's just, there's no clickable, like the thumbnail isn't anything for someone to click on, and you have no description, you have no tags, they have no idea what there's like. Google has nothing to be able to pull from. YouTube has nothing to be able to pull from. It doesn't know what your video is about. It can listen to your video because it does listen to the words that you say in your video. It pulls from that. The algorithm is very complicated, but it pulls from every aspect that it can to know what your video is about, and why and who it should be connecting it with. So making sure that you get suggested by YouTube is a big thing, because that's less work from you. I mean, the whole point is making sure that they're recommending you, so it's less work on you. You just have to do the work up front to make sure that they know what your video is about. So right here, you can see the impression funnel that I was talking about. So it kind of breaks it down a little bit differently for you. So you see the impressions. This is how many times your video thumbnails, and sometimes they have like these little things that really help you, were shown to viewers. And it includes, all the impressions on YouTube, not on external sites like them seeing you seeing your thumbnail there, but anything from YouTube. So it's showing you that almost 50% of these impressions are from YouTube recommending our content to other people, which is good. And then it shows you that 4% click-through rate. So 4% of the 14,000 actually clicked on our video. And that those are the views that we got from those impressions, the 575 views. Mind you, this is only in the last 28 days. And then it shows you the average view duration. So 4 minutes and 17 seconds was the average view duration that someone spent. And then it shows you watch time from impression hours. So that's 41 hours of people watched 41 hours of our videos. So just breaks it down a little bit differently. These are very important to understand so that you can see how well your channel is doing. If you're getting a lot of impressions and YouTube isn't recommending your content, or whatever it might be, if you're not getting a lot of impressions and you see that YouTube isn't recommending your content, then you need to go back and be like, okay, well, am I not giving enough information in my description of my video, which we're going to talk about? Where is it that it's not picking up your content? Or if it's your click-through rate, that's your thumbnail. You need to go back. If your click-through rate's at 1%, you need to go back and look at your thumbnail. The views that you're getting, the average view duration, if they're actually staying on your video. 4 minutes is a good time frame. You need to think about how long your videos are too. So if a lot of your videos are 2-minute long videos, then really all they have is the average view duration of 2 minutes, right? So, et cetera, et cetera. So those are just some important aspects to keep in mind. It will also break down, like here, suggested videos, like where they were suggested from. So it breaks it down. It literally gives you so much information. Like you could delve into these analytics so deep, but you can see like a proportion of our total traffic. Like we got 8% from this specific video. It will literally tell you what videos people are coming to your video from. And then, or just like what people are searching, title insurance. What is title insurance? Title insurance explained. It's showing you the keywords that people are using in search and how they're finding us per se. So that's all about reach. And then when you get into your engagement, showing your watch hours, how many hours are actually watching it. And it just kind of shows you your top videos by end screen, which is the screen at the end of your video that suggests other videos. Are people clicking on that? Showing your top videos and the watch hours that are coming from these videos, how many hours they actually watch them. Your top playlist, which is a really important thing that we're going to talk about in a little bit. And your top cards, which are the little, so whenever you're watching a YouTube video, and I talked about this in the last course, there will be you can make a little pop-up come up where it's suggesting another video. Like if you're in your video and you're talking about, last week I talked about, North River Shores, this area is very comparable to that. You could literally go ahead and, while you're saying North River Shores, put a link to your video up at the top where it'll be like, check out that video. And so if someone clicks through to that, then that's where you're getting these aspects. So there's a bunch of different ways to make sure that you're kind of suggesting yourself to people, so that they kind of know, like you can reference your own content and keep them on your page so that they're continue to listen to you, which is always good. It's always FaceTime. If at any point I am going too fast or you have a question, please do not feel free to put something in the chat, whatever it might be. I know I'm talking kind of fast. There's like so much information to go over. And then your audience. When you go in, the fourth aspect of your analytics is your audience, showing your returning viewers, your unique viewers, and your subscribers that you're getting from that. I will tell you that subscribers are important. You want subscribers. You want the aspect that you could potentially get in front of more people, but a lot of times with videos, it's not always returning subscribers. You're usually going to always have, if you're setting your videos right, you're going to have a lot more non-subscribers watching your videos than actual subscribers, because they don't show your video to every single subscriber that you have. It's just there's a better chance because they've shown interest in your content. So that's an important piece to understand. And just like here, watch time from subscribers, it shows you not subscribed 98% and 2% that were subscribed watched our videos this month at least. So also shows you like if people are watching it with subtitles, where people are from. So the top geographics was the United States. You can click on that and see, you know, where people were at, whether if you have like big traction from other places, if you're trying to target certain areas, you can look at, once you get more data, like for instance, I'm looking at here, let me make this over the last year. Okay, because it's harder to do on a shorter period of time, but like we're talking about the last year, right? So it shows you we've gotten 59% from United States, Canada, India, and the Philippines. Like they're like only a couple 0.3%. It shows you viewer age that you can look at. So you can look at, you know, 19% of our viewers are between age 25 and 34. 35 to 44 is 44%. And 65 years plus, 36%. So, you know, if you think older people aren't on YouTube, you're wrong. You know, it's really something that a lot of people utilize. So using that data to be able to think about, okay, well, how can I better, you know, it's all about, it's what you're talking about in your business too. Who are you talking to on a daily basis? You can't talk to every single person. If you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody, they say. So it also shows you, you know, we have a pretty even aspect of female and male. I'm actually surprised that it's more male when I'm looking at this right now for the last year. So yeah, there's literally so much you can go into with this, but we won't get super, super deep into that. But I just wanted to overview that you can look at your geography and where people are coming from. It really gives you a lot of information that you can delve into with your analytics. And as long as you understand what everything means, then you can kind of figure out where you might be going wrong in your videos. So are there any questions on analytics? Okay. So next thing that I want to talk about is the key to a good description of your video. There's a lot that can go into a description. And I think that a lot of times people kind of pass the buck on the description. Again, what I mentioned earlier, it's really important to give Google and YouTube as much information as possible that you can, because it is scanning. They have bots that are scanning the internet, scanning your YouTube video, what you're saying. They're trying to make sure that your title, what you're saying in the video, and what's in your description, that all of those match, and that is actually a key. You're actually talking about what you say you're going to talk about. So making sure that you put like maybe a little short bio about yourself in there, because if someone goes to the description of the video, if you're referencing something in your video, making sure that you put that in your video. If you reference another video, or you can even just show them different videos. We have like a template that we do, which I'm going to show you guys how to do. Putting your website, putting your catchphrase, whatever that might be, like again, branding yourself. Ask them to subscribe in there. Put your contact information, your email, your full name, so that people can get you, again, searchability on YouTube, links to your other videos. Put your social media links. That's really important. And when you're on YouTube and you're posting a link, if you want it to actually link, you do have to have the HTTP whatever in front of it. It can't just be www dot. It won't actually create a link in your description unless it has the HTTP. So that's a little trick to keep in mind. When you're making a template for this, what's really oh, hold on. Whoops. Okay. When you're making a template for your video, all those aspects that I just mentioned, you can go to, you're still in your like little dashboard area here. If you go down to the bottom here where it says settings, you click on settings. And I briefly breezed over this in my last video, but I want to make sure that you guys see it here. You can see upload defaults right here. And you can put basic information and you can description right here. So you can see that we have these links to our other YouTube videos, like telling people to watch these next. We have visit our website. We have our social media links. We have our like call us, email us. We have a little description about ourselves. We talk about, you know, we treat you like family and we're committed to getting the job done. We hope you'll subscribe to our channel and become part of our Arrow family. And then we have these hashtags at the bottom because hashtags in your description actually do work. So having relevant hashtags, a few of them at the bottom, are important, and making sure that they're relevant to the video too. So like we did some generic ones here, but when I'm in my video, I will take a couple of them out and switch them out for like ones that are specific for that video. Like if I'm talking about affordable housing, I'll be like hashtag affordable housing and, you know, add that there. And then you can also, you know, make your automatic upload default to public, which you want to do. And then you can also have tags that are automatic. So this is how you save time, because when you put these defaults in here, then when you go to post a video, it will automatically pop up in the description, all of these aspects. But then at the top of this, when you're going to actually post your video, you'll make a space and you will put an actual description of the video that you're talking about what you're saying, using keywords that you're talking about in the top of your description, because the top few lines are the most important lines that Google pulls, or that YouTube pulls from. So those top lines are very important, but then you have the rest of your description already done. It saves you time. You don't have to go and look up other YouTube videos, connect to it, blah, 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 whatever. It's all about making it as efficient as possible, especially like in the business that we're in. We want to make sure that efficiency is, if you had to write this out every single time, trust me, it's not fun. So the tags as well, making sure that you have relevant tags to your business. So these are tags that automatically go into our videos whenever we post them. And then I always add extra tags like that are relevant to the specific video. Like I said, we just posted a video about affordable housing, the Thursday's top tips in real estate. So on that specific video, it add, you know, tag, I would say affordable housing in Martin County, affordable housing Treasure Coast, or Treasure Coast real estate, things like that. But I have in here title insurance, title agent, title company, buying a house, selling a house, like things like that are relevant to our industry. So you can do the same for you so that you don't have to think of these defaults every single time, and they'll just automatically go onto your videos, and then you add to them with your relevant ones. So saves a lot of time, promise. Okay. Are there any questions on that? Okay. Get my chat back up here. All right. So the important, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, for those tags, if you don't want all those in your, what are you going to say? Do you click them off?
I'm sorry. Your audio is kind of going in and out. You said if you don't want all of those, do you click them out?
Yeah, you X them out, and then, you know, they come back later for the next, their default.
Yes,
so they
yes.
Come back.
So when you are on your video, like let's say I go to this video here. So whenever you're uploading this video, like it'll automatically come up at the bottom. And then let's say you want to, so you see here, your tags will pop up, and then you can just click the X right up next to it on when you're on that specific video, and they'll repopulate on your next video.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Okay, of course. And there's some important aspects here too that we're gonna get back into too. So, here, I'm just gonna keep this up like this. Okay. Are there any questions else on the description and making sure that you guys have a good amount of information on your description? Okay. So I talked about the importance of thumbnails. Thumbnails are a really big thing. They're the key. I just went to, before you guys, everybody logged in, I went to Daniel Wade's team, it looks like there, and Andy Spears. I went to their YouTube channels, and one of the number one things that I see with people that are trying to start on YouTube, and one of their biggest mistakes is they do not do thumbnails. So, and I'll show you an example. So I have both of their websites up here. So this is great, good, love it. I scroll down and there's no, you don't know when you're if you're not looking at these like Indian Pine completed remodel, if you're not looking at that, you're just seeing people, but you have no idea what the video is about. And the point of the thumbnail is to capture someone's attention in that couple of seconds to be like, do I need to click on this video? Is this video what I want to watch? Same thing on Andy's here. So we go over here, we see houses. Okay, great, houses. But you don't know if that video is going to show you a house. Is it showing you a neighborhood? Is it showing you inside the house? Is it just a picture? What is it doing? So when you go to, for instance, our YouTube channel, so these are the home pages of their YouTube channels. Whereas if you're on ours, you'll see on our channel that we have a welcome video. We have a welcome video that pops up. We have, and then you scroll down and you see all of our thumbnails. You see how you can tell what every single one of those thumbnails is about. What is a title search? Title insurance, or title insurance owner's policy versus lender's policy. Changes in technology. And when you hover it over it, you can kind of see exactly what's going on. Title company or attorney, like you get the snapshot of what I'm talking about in that video. And this is what entices you to click on things. So this is a very important aspect, and it's very easy to make in Canva. Canva, if you guys are not using Canva, please use Canva. Canva is amazing. I love Canva. I use it literally 70 times a day. Like I use it so much. And it's so user-friendly. And there's a free version of it, even though I really recommend the paid version. I use the paid version all the time for so many different things. And it just makes it can really make a difference. It's the best for like 15, 14 bucks a month that I spend. And it helps you with templates. It shows you exactly how big the YouTube thumbnail needs to be. If you look up YouTube thumbnail, it'll even give you a template and you can make it your own. But these thumbnails for both Andy and Elaine that I have pulled up their YouTube channels, this could just in itself bring so much traction, more traction to your channel so that people know what they're talking about. Like this one could be a picture of the neighborhood. If this looks like Indian Pines before remodel or something, or maybe it's a picture of like always doing something that's eye-catching. You want an eye-catching background. You want little text. You don't want too much text on it, because if it's too crowded or it's too small and people can't read it, you have to remember that a lot of people are on their phones when they're on YouTube. And if you can't read, if it's too small or whatever, and they can't read it on their phone, then they're going to lose the aspect of what you're trying to talk about in your video. Brand it with your headshot. Have your headshot on there. Keep it consistent with styles a little bit. Create templates on the Canva so that you kind of have, like you guys saw on our channel, for instance, we had like a little series. So this was the same series. This is the same series, but we have different people who come on. So you can kind of see we have templates for all of these, and then we just change them out. Again, making it easier for you guys. You don't want to, you want to keep your branding consistent so that people kind of know what's going on, and you can change it up a little bit. Like all of our classes kind of look very similar, and just depending on what the video is about. Let me I'm going to give you an example here. So this guy's videos. So you see how with his videos, he has kind of the same, he has a bright background or a popping background. He has his face and he has what he's talking about, right? We have, there's another YouTuber. I'm going to do, so here's another, this is a realtor who is, that I mentioned in my last video, Karen, and she has her YouTube videos, and you see her thumbnails are popping like Augusta, pros, cons, but then she has living in Augusta, Georgia, pros and cons about Augusta. Find other YouTubers that are realtors and see kind of what they're posting. If they're in different areas, use those ideas and come up with them for our own area. We have a very unique area. There is 1,000,001 topics that you can talk about just in our area alone. You can see here, which city is #1. You see she has kind of her little sections, like different branding that she has. So just on videos alone, you can have, videos about specifically how-to videos on real estate, like loans, like how to get a loan, or how to price your house, or, how to stage your home, like different things of that. Cost of living, like FAQ questions. Think about the questions that you guys get on a daily basis from people. And you can utilize YouTube as well as a resource in your business. Like, let's say you get the same question over and over again from people. You can create a video about it. And then when someone asks you about it, let's say you're really busy, and you can be like, I have a whole video that really breaks it down and walks you through it. I'm gonna send it to you really quick. And then you send it to them, and then you're saving yourself the 5-10 minutes that would have taken for you to explain that to them, because you just had a video on it already and you were able to send it. I do that all the time when I'm like, hey, I have a video on learning Canva. We have Canva videos on our YouTube channel. I'll be like, I'll send it to you, and then you can learn more about Canva. So those you can utilize YouTube as, one, getting more exposure out in the world of just real estate and getting people to know your name and see your branding. But two, you can make it an effective tool to save you time. So we all want to save time. We all don't have enough time, right? And you can do your listing videos, which are good. That a lot of you guys I know are already doing on YouTube. But that's a great resource to be able to be like, hey, that's now your portfolio for your clients, to be like, hey, check out my YouTube channel where you can see all of the videos that I've done for previous clients and how they come out. And with those, I know a couple of you have already done this, like making sure you're personalizing those. You guys are in those videos and you're saying, hey, let's go check out this house. Doing market update videos, doing interview videos or highlight videos of local businesses, talking about where people should be going, what people should be seeing, talk about the HOAs, talk like all of the information that people ask you guys about. Use it. You can use it as a dual resource. I'm curious, who here uses Canva already? Everybody, hopefully. You can like put in the chat really quick or answer or whatever. What was that? Sometimes. Is there, okay, so Daniel Wade's team, Elaine and
I'm graphically challenged.
Well, that's what's so nice. Try to, but it gets confusing. Use it on a limited basis. Well, if you guys haven't already watched our video on Canva Basics, and we have a Canva Basics and a Canva Intermediate class, I'm telling you, once you get to know where kind of things are and where you can kind of utilize them in it, it is a lifesaver, and it will save you time, and it will make you look very professional to be able to have those aspects. So, I mean, I literally, what is it you do not like? What is you do not, am I reading that wrong? Like doing that kind of stuff. Are you saying what if you do not like doing that kind of, okay. I mean, honestly, you can, you can get people to do it for you. There's a thing called Fiverr. If you guys haven't heard of Fiverr, I'll pull up the website really quick so you guys can see it. This is great for if you ever need, I don't know why I didn't write that in right. Okay. This is a great website if you have never, can you, I don't want to put it in. Anyways, just, this is a great website to be able to find people who want to do like freelance work, and it's really affordable. You can get your little intro for your YouTube videos that kind of says like, oh, like, you know, Andy Remax team, like that you can just input into your videos, and then you can put in extras too. You can get those for like 20 bucks. So it's very affordable. But will I say you should do it for thumbnails? I mean, I think that if you create a template like I have done with our YouTube videos and such, it's really not that hard. You won't, once you, the hardest part is just creating the template that you like, that you can kind of switch pictures out for and switch the words out for, and really you can make it a very effective process. You just have to get the template up and running, if that makes sense. I know it's, I mean, I think in all of our businesses, there's always something that we don't like doing that we kind of have to do in order for it to be. Thumbnails you don't have to do thumbnails on YouTube, but you're very, very, very silly if you don't. You are leaving money on the table, per se, you could say. It's one of the #1 ways to be able to get people to really engage with your videos. And if you ever want your YouTube video to go somewhere, you have to use thumbnails. You can't avoid it. So if you're content with getting 10, 20, however many views, less than 100 views on your videos, sure, you don't need to use thumbnails. But if you want your YouTube video to be successful, you need thumbnails. So I just recommend doing the templates, and literally Canva will give you, you can, guys, I'll show you in 2 seconds, just templates. Just literally go to templates, YouTube thumbnail. Look at all these templates. There's so many templates. There's a million templates. I mean, just pick one that you like and then change the words, add your face to it, you know, change the background picture or whatever. I mean, look at all this. Like there's, they make it as easy as possible, really. So I can't stress that enough. And making sure that you brand it with your headshot too. You want, especially in real estate, it's very important that you brand your face, your name, and your logo, like all of those, like your face, your name, and your brand, those are your marketable pieces of yourself. So make sure people know, they see it, make sure you mention it. Okay, good. Glad that helps, Lynn. And yeah, and just try to keep, and once you find, make sure you keep that consistent as well. So if you like choose one that you like, you know, try and use the same one or something similar or whatever. If it's like a series, no, don't worry if you want to change it up or whatever, especially in the beginning. I want to tell you guys something about YouTube. Your first 100 videos are probably going to be bad. They're going to be bad. You're going to look back at them in the future and you're going to be like, wow, that I could have done better. But it's a continual learning process. You will learn more video editing tips along the way, which we're going to kind of get into, but never delete those videos, #1. And two, like one, it's a great way to be able to look back and see how far you've come from all of that, but just don't be afraid. You guys, some of you guys have, and if you're in this class, you most likely already have a YouTube channel, hopefully, and you're already putting out videos. Keep doing it. And I know that it can seem very strenuous and tiresome, but if you keep doing it and you're consistent with it, it will get better. And I know a lot of you guys have videographers who are doing things for you and helping you with things, so they shouldn't be too bad anyways. But don't be so worried about like what you look like. People will like the authenticity of it all. That's a huge thing right now. So are there any other questions on thumbnails and like kind of what, like making sure you have little text, eye-catching background, branding with your headshot, have your logo on it? If anybody else has any questions, feel free to put it in the chat. So now we're going to talk about an effective homepage for your YouTube channel. You might have already noticed it when I was on Elaine and Andy's YouTube channel here. So I'm on the homepage here, right? So this is the first thing that people see when they come to your page. This is cute. I like this. But when you scroll down, you see she just has uploads. Same thing for Andy. You scroll down, just uploads. That's all you see. So this is, you have to remember that this is the first impression that you're making on someone. So if they come to this and they look and they're like, there's nothing I really want to see, it doesn't look like there's much on here, then you could be losing someone who is potentially a client or whatever it might be. If you go to our page, you'll see there's a lot more to it, right? And I think I mentioned this as well in the beginners one, is having this template here, making sure you're putting your popular videos on top because these are obviously the ones that people like the most, and making sure that you are breaking down your playlists so that people can see. We have a whole, you see how much we have on here and how it's broken up into sections. So we have our popular videos, we have how to use our app, we have our services. So these ones are specific for our services. We have why title insurance, preparing to close on a house, market update Mondays, Thursdays top tips. They're all broken down into the different sections so that people, it's organized for them. They know what they're getting at. So if you have videos about listings, then you can be like, okay, these are my listings. And then you can actually share these playlists. So what I do, like for instance, like our Thursdays top tips in real estate, you can share just this playlist and making sure you have a little description of the playlist and everything with whoever you're trying to connect with. So if it's about your listings, you'd be like, hey, look at my portfolio of houses on this playlist, and you have your playlist of houses, and then they can literally click through one, and when you're on a playlist, it will continue to the next one, and then the next one, or whatever it might be. You can make it even a mini series where you do like part 1, 2, and 3, and it'll just automatically move them to the next one on the playlist, kind of like a playlist on Spotify or something or whatever, you know, it goes to the next one. So these playlists are really big and they're searchable themselves. So you can also add other people's videos onto your playlist. So let's say you have a team that you're on and you're doing something for their YouTube video. Like let's say they're on their YouTube channel and you're a guest on their video, or you guys are talking about something, you're collaborating and you're talking about a specific topic and it's posted on their YouTube channel. You can take that video that you're in from another channel and share it to your YouTube channel, to a playlist that you have, even though it's not your video, but you're in it. And that looks good to have other people, like if you are guest appearancing on someone else's YouTube channel, that's a good aspect to have. And it will hopefully also drive people to your YouTube channel as well. And you can do the same for your YouTube videos. So for instance, we have our Market Update Mondays videos here, right? So we have all of these realtors who come on each of these Market Update Mondays, and then we tag their Facebook pages on the description and such. But if they have a YouTube channel, I try to like tag that as well. And then like, let's say I'm I saw Katie just logged in. Let's say I'm Katie Bourgeois and I was just on the Market Update Monday. I can go to the specific video and I can add that to my playlist on my YouTube channel. And then people see, oh, what's this Treasure Coast update? Hey, Katie. They can say, oh, what's this Treasure Coast update? And you can show the traction that you are doing on other people. You can use other people's content on your own page and it shows more content on your page for what you're doing. So the more content that it looks like you have and everything and your collaborations, those are good aspects and good ways to get more bang for your buck in a sense. And if you get your videos posted onto someone else's channel, that's another filter into your channel. So you're like connecting the two channels, if that makes sense. So it's a really big aspect in making sure that you guys organize this. When you guys go to organize this, when you click on right here at the top, you'll see if you're on your specific channel, the customize channel, when you click on that button, and I think I breezed over this last time, you can see that you can put a channel trailer for people who haven't subscribed. So you can do a quick intro video, don't make it long, less than a minute, and just be like, welcome to my channel. This is what you're gonna expect on my channel. And that video will automatically play for people who haven't subscribed. You can do one for people who haven't subscribed, and you can do one for people who are returning who have already subscribed to your channel. So with those, you can capture people. Like you saw how I just went to our channel and like it started being like, hey, welcome to our channel, blah, blah, blah. And like it was automatically playing. So that's going to capture someone's attention. They're going to be like, oh, what's this video? And that you can tell them, I'm a realtor in, I've been in the real estate market for 30 years in the Stewart Martin County area. And, you know, I specialize in luxury homes, whatever you want to talk about, or whatever you plan to share with them on your YouTube channel, and then encourage them to subscribe. So, you know what, let me go ahead and just play that video really quick for you guys so you guys can see what we did.
Welcome to our channel. Most people don't know what title insurance is, but we're here to help educate. Subscribe to our channel because we post new videos every week.
Check out our videos, and if you have any topics that you want to hear about, let us know. And remember, we take your closing in the right direction. So super easy, super quick. We threw Max in there because everybody loves Max, and does a little thing. So, and then you can see that it automatically, one tells you to subscribe, but it also suggested another video, like what is title insurance. So it doesn't have to be long. It's just quick. What are they going to learn from this, et cetera, et cetera. And then that entices people to stay on your channel. Are there any questions about the homepage and how you kind of navigate that? Oh, you add those sections here. So you go here and you click add section, and then you can add in your popular playlists. So you see these are marked out because I've already got them on there. You can add a single playlist. That would be like these here. Or created playlists. So you can like click on this and then select which one you want to move, and then you can move them around if you want. And then it goes in based on the order that you put them, and that's how it shows up on your channel. So what other editing software do you use besides Canva? So I use Canva, I use Adobe Premiere Rush. That's the video editing software that I use, which is it's a very user-friendly one. It's only costs $10 a month, which is pretty nice. It is online based, which what online based means is it uploads to the cloud. So you're actually able to edit it on your phone or on your computer. Like you could be editing it on your phone and then you could like stop, exit out of it, and then go to your computer and finish and pick up right where you left off. That's one of the big reasons why I got it too. It is one of the, it's not like the most complex system like Adobe Premiere, and there's a couple of other ones that are like very complex. This is good for beginners. And I think it's very user friendly once you kind of get to know like one of the aspects of it. but it is a really good software, and it kind of has templates that you can throw in there as well. And if you guys ever need help with that or kind of want a tutorial on that, feel free to let me know, and I'm happy to assist with that. That is what I use for video editing though. Yep, my pleasure. All right, so okay. Video equipment. I know that a lot of people get, I think a lot of people use a lot of excuses as to why they shouldn't get started with video or whatever it might be. You really don't need a lot. Really, you could start with your cell phone and that's it, and just go from there. I know that we did that in the beginning and we didn't even have a tripod. And if you look at some of our like beginning videos, like you can see that like I'm like shaking it a little bit or whatever. I'm not deleting those videos because they're very successful videos, but like, you know, there are little things that you can tweak to make your videos better. But again, the authenticity level that people want is there. Really, I think the minimal, like maybe to have is just a tripod that you can put a phone tripod. You can put on your desk. You can have a tall one if you want, depending on where you're going to have your videos. Put your phone in it. A lot of the phones nowadays have very good cameras, very good audio. Just make sure that you're not somewhere where it's super loud or whatever it might be. Having the tripods is a really big thing, just to be able to do it by yourself. Because I know one of the biggest things that when I talk with other realtors is they're like, well, I need people to just follow me around and take video of me, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, you don't need that. You can literally do it yourself. I mean, it's really not, you don't need too much to be able to do that. The gimbals, which you guys have probably heard about, are very helpful too. Like if you want to take someone on a tour of the house with you, you can find inexpensive ones. Tripods are super cheap. Go to Amazon. They're extremely cheap. You can find them for like $8, $10, $15. The gimbals are a little bit more expensive, but they're a good investment. It's another step up. You don't have to have them, but it's just something if you kind of want to walk people through your house and such like that. Do just make sure that whatever, like test your sound. Sound is very important on YouTube because if someone can't hear you or like the audio quality isn't good, it's, you know, they can like kind of deal with your video or whatever it might be, but audio is very important. They want to be able to hear you and what you have to say. And if they're struggling with that, then they're more likely to click off your video and not even watch it. So you don't need a lot to really get started. And I know a lot of people were like, oh, I need this and this and this and this. And like, it's like, you really don't. Like start off, get started. The biggest step is just getting started and getting it done. So I'm glad that you guys have already gotten started. Just don't stop. And some video editing tips. So I just told you guys the video editing software that I use, Adobe Premiere Rush. Some of the tips when you are video editing and mistakes that I made in the beginning, and maybe you guys are making or whatever it might be. Film straight through your video. So if you're filming a video and you mess up or whatever it might be, or you completely lose your train of thought, just stop. Don't like stop the video, start it again. And like that wastes time. You can actually just do one long continuous video. If you mess up, stop, breathe, continue. If you've probably noticed on our videos and such, and a lot of other YouTubers, if you really pay attention, what's interesting is you'll see the clips of the videos, and that's what all major YouTubers do, is they have the full clip of the video and then they just cut out the chunks that they don't want. Some people even cut out their breaths. Like if you're taking a breath, some people get as minuscule as cutting out their breaths so you can't hear them breathe. Like it's so funny. But you know, that's a big thing that can save a lot of time, is that if you're just video editing, you mess something up, just re-say it. You can clip it, or just re-say the whole phrase or whatever it might be and go from there. That can cut down editing time a lot. Have an intro with your video. So having your basic core video, you want your intro and hook. If you're watching a lot of YouTubers and such like that, when you're at the beginning, you'll hear, you know, what are they talking about? So the first 30 seconds of your video are super important for what are people going to get out of your video, and why should they continue watching? So in that 30 seconds, you should be saying exactly what is in your video title, what is in your thumbnail or what is in your description. Like all of those things should match along with what you're saying. So if you're talking about why title insurance is important, whatever, I'm just bringing that up, the first thing that came to my head, then you can be like, do you guys know why title insurance is so important? Well, let me tell you. Stay tuned, you'll find out. And then you can like do a clip to your little intro or whatever if you want to have that kind of branding aspect into it, which no more than like 30, I would say make it like 10 seconds, 10, 15 seconds, quick little thing, and then go straight into the meat of what you're talking about. So most people don't know what title insurance is. Why is that? Because of this, this, and this. And then did you know title insurance is this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and get into the meat of what you're trying to talk about. Do not put too much fluff in there. When you put too much fluff at the beginning or even any way through your video, people want to get to the content in which they want to hear from you as soon as possible. So if you're promising them that they're going to learn about something, they want to learn about that as soon as possible. Do not wait 5 minutes into the video and talk about yourself for 4 minutes or whatever it might be, or something else before you get to what the whole purpose of the video is. You can do little quick things like you can say like, hey, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We do weekly videos, et cetera, and then get straight into it. The quicker you get into the topic, the more engaged you'll have of a person, and they'll be more likely to watch all the way through the video, which is what you want, because if YouTube sees that people are watching your video for 50% of the time or like a majority of your video, then it says, oh, this person actually likes this YouTube video. And then they are more likely to suggest that video to someone else. And it's a trickle effect. So the whole goal of every social media platform is to make sure that they can keep people on the platform. If they can keep you on the platform, that's what they want. So if your video is keeping them on the platform and they are watching for 10 minutes straight on your video, and then they go to another one of your videos and they watch for another 10 minutes, YouTube likes that and they will continue, they will keep pushing it out because they're like, people are staying on their videos and we want that. So that's kind of the perspective you have to think about when you're making a video, is like, is this something, and when you're editing your video, or if you're looking over a video that you're having someone edit, rewatch it. Sometimes, you know, when you're editing your video and such like that, maybe wait a day, like edit it, wait a day, go back to your video and then be like, oh, like, okay, let me look at this with fresh eyes and be like, is this something that I would watch? Am I bored? Think of it about that, like the consumer. I told you guys about Fiverr. That's a great way to get like an intro extra type of thing for like very cheap, $20. Make sure you do ask people at some point in your video to subscribe or like your video, like, comment, subscribe, encourage them to engage with your video, because people forget. Think about when you're watching a YouTube video, you don't think to like it. If they mention it, then you'll be like, oh, yeah, like they said to like it, whatever it might be, or subscribe. Oh, I haven't subscribed already. I watch this person all the time. Reminders like that remind people to engage with your post, and maybe you're talking about something that they want to hear about. If you're always engaging those questions and comments, whenever people comment, answer every single comment, because if they know that they're hearing from you, that's a communication. We know how important communication is. So those are some video editing tips that I can give in regards to that. Are there any questions? I'm almost there. Okay. So the next thing, upload tips, which I kind of went over a little bit earlier. Making sure you always have a thumbnail, add your end screen, which is those videos at the end, add those info cards, which are the videos, connecting those videos into your videos when you are uploading, pinning a comment. So whenever you're on a YouTube video, yeah, I can give you the slides. And then this video is being recorded too, so this will be on YouTube. So whenever you're on a, what was I just talking about? Oh, the pinning a comment. So whenever you go to a, let's see if I did it on here. That's probably not on this one. It's ads. You know, I'll just leave a comment on here really quick. So whenever you leave a comment, you can say, did you find this video helpful? let us know. So you can comment this, and then you can like and heart your own comment. That's a good aspect. But then that hearting, you can actually go to the ... here and pin your comment to the top so that people can, whenever, like, let's say you get multiple comments on this video, this comment will stay at the top so that people know that they can see that you commented on it and you're trying to engage them, because people will go to the comments and such. So make sure you guys do that. That kind of leads into my next point about, I don't know if you guys have noticed this TubeBuddy analytics and such like that. I think I briefly went over it in the introduction video, but these are great ways to keep yourself on top of these best practices. TubeBuddy is free. I believe that's into my next. So we're talking about useful tools. They have a plugin. So all you have to do is go to tubebuddy.com. You can actually, if you want a discount, there's this website that you can go to this link. If you go to TubeBuddy, you download the plugin and you'll see it right here on your YouTube channel. So you see here, you have a dashboard. You can see like milestones that you've reached, like, okay, we just reached 275 subscribers, and you can share that. You can see the tools that you have, the keyword explorers. It will show you like different tags to be able to use when you're actually in your videos. The keyword explorer, there's like, let's say, Treasure Coast real estate. Like if you look up a keyword, you can see, okay, Treasure Coast real estate, interest over time. There hasn't been enough data for that to show. Like, so you can see kind of, you know, where are people searching this specific phrase, Treasure Coast real estate. It's not getting much. So this specific one, optimization strength, is good. Number of videos and search results is 201,000, and the monthly searches is 830. So it's also going to show you like your competition for it. So like your competition's like mid-range. So like if you're using that tag, how likely is it for someone else to see that video that you've tagged? And I kind of mentioned that earlier with our video over here. So for instance, let's see. You saw down here how we did all of our tags right here. You can see we have our tags, and you see this little one right here. So if someone searches Treasure Coast, Florida affordable housing, that #1 means that this video will be the #1 video to pop up on that search. That's something that's being monitored by TubeBuddy. So you can see here, like recommended tags, consider adding if they're relevant. So they'll suggest tags to you. Now this is the free version. If you get the paid version, then you can get like, they can come up with all your tags pretty much for you. And you see like selling a house is 20. That's the tag score. Like you're going to be like 20th in rank. House hunting 19. So these are things that you want to utilize those tags when you can, if that's relevant to your video, if that makes sense. So there's a lot that you can do with TubeBuddy, and that's a great tool to be able to use as well. It's free. It can just help you along the way, and you can go to, so you, for instance, I can go to other people's channels and see here that Andy Spears, okay, the lifetime views he's gotten is 3,500 views, and this is how many videos he has. This is how many views that he's gotten in the last 30 days, and kind of it compares you to them as well. So you can kind of see how you're doing compared to other people. So that's a good aspect for it. It has so many tools within it, and it's really a great tool to be able to use. And even if you get the paid version is only $4 a month if you have less than 1,000 subscribers. You can click on that if you want to get to the little link there for TubeBuddy. So yeah, the paid version is, I've got that for my travel page and stuff like that. It's pretty good, and you can just utilize a lot of features on that as well. And it literally will do a lot of the work for you. The whole point of that app is to save you time with like doing keyword research and seeing what people are researching, because there's a lot, again, there's a lot that goes into YouTube and what you can utilize. SEO is very important. Like I said, the more information and data you give it, the better. I want to know though, who has heard of StreamYard? I think a couple of you have. I'm curious if you guys have heard of StreamYard. It's pretty much the last thing I have. Anybody? No? Yes? Has anybody used StreamYard already? No? Okay. So if you are trying to utilize something that is going to put content onto your page, StreamYard's actually a really great, I think I signed up, but really don't remember. StreamYard's the last thing that I wanted to bring up as a resource. So I have utilized it. And I'll show you really quick on our page. We utilize it for our market update Mondays. Let's get the last one. So you can see here, oh, look, Katie's on this one. So you can see here, this is a live stream platform. There is a free version of it that brands it, and then there's a paid version of it. The paid version, I think, is $20 a month. But it is a great way to be able to collaborate with other people, have other people come live stream, and you can kind of do a lot of different things with it. So for instance, and talking about that aspect, we're talking here, and then we're sharing our screen so that people can see it, and we're kind of having a discussion about it. And there are a bunch of, and then you can highlight people so that it could just be that one person speaking, or you can just do videos. You don't even need it to have other people on it. You can just have you do a market snapshot, and you can just make it, you could be talking about what's going on here. And then you can go ahead and flip right back to you being on the screen and talking about those numbers, or you can have you next to it. So it's a great live stream feature. You can also, okay, so Katie's only been a participant, not a host yet, but it's a pretty cool platform, right, Katie? Like on kind of how it like flows, ebbs and flows. It's kind of got a lot, you can, very cool, yes. So there's a lot of aspects that you can utilize in it, in the sense of you can like make things pop up at the bottom of the screen, be like, go like me on Facebook, or go visit my website for more information, or whatever it might be. It is very intuitive. So I do highly recommend that as well. If you want to kind of get just live streams out there, you can stream it live if you pay for it. You can stream it live to Facebook and to YouTube at the same time. So you can stream it to your business Facebook page or your personal, but if you have a business Facebook page, which is a whole other topic, you need to stream it to that first and then share it, just for business-wise sake and smart marketing-wise. But your Facebook and YouTube channel, then you can be putting out information to both sources at the same time. And what's really cool about it as well is it filters in comments from both of those platforms if you're live. So if people are watching your video live and they're commenting on Facebook or commenting on YouTube, it will pull it up in StreamYard, and then you can see their comments in live, and you can literally respond to their comments in real time, bring their comments up on the stage and be like, oh, Marsh asked this question about title insurance, whatever it might be. And then you can answer it in your live video. So it's a great way to be able to interact with people, and you can schedule them ahead of time and plan for topics. It's really very intuitive, and it's a great way to kind of get things onto your as content. I think it's really great because I know that we're all very busy. Video editing can be a pain. It really can. I think that there are great aspects to video editing, and having those edited videos are great, and you should have them. But having a live stream aspect, live video is very important with YouTube and Facebook. They like the live video. They like people to be able to be engaged and such. So if you can incorporate a live stream once a week or whatever it might be, that is very good for your social media, and like it will bring in a different type of crowd of people. It will trigger an algorithm with that, especially if you are consistent. And you don't have to edit the video because it's live, and you don't have to edit it. It's so nice. Just pop a thumbnail on it, which you can do ahead of time, and kind of plan it all out. And then you just go into it, and then you just talk, and you don't have to edit anything out. So I think it's a great, quick, easy way to be able to get content onto your page. So definitely look into StreamYard. You can kind of see here like what it looks like. This is from like the perspective of like someone who's on it and hosting it. So you have your like little screens and such. That you can see, and then you have like you can brand it, you can literally make the background whatever you want it to be. It's really, really cool and intuitive. Are there any questions about that? Okay. All right, I already talked Canva to death. If you're not using Canva, use Canva. Go to our YouTube channel, find our Canva Intermediate and our Canva Basics class. Watch it. It will help you so much. I've literally had people who have recommended the video to, and they're watching it and they're like texting me and they're like, well, hey, what about this? Can I do this? And then they're like, oh, just kidding. You literally just answered that. I will answer a lot of your questions on there. And it is easier to use than you think. So make sure you guys follow us on social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, if you want. We've gone over quite a bit. I went a little bit over time here. But again, it's like a million and one things you could talk about on YouTube. And if you do need more help, I am always available. You can set up a one-on-one Zoom call with me, or I can come in with you. On the Zoom call, it's kind of cool because I can like kind of work with your screen and such, but you're welcome to come into my office as well. I'll walk you through it step by step. There's my cell phone number and my email address. Are there any questions that anybody has about anything that I've gone over, any other questions lingering about YouTube that they have been like just needing answered? Make sure you guys stay tuned, stay for 2 seconds too, because I'm going to do like a little raffle giveaway. But are there any other questions? Did I bore you guys to death? Did you learn something? All right, cool, great, glad you guys. That's all right, Andy. I'll come into your office, no problem. All right, great. I'm glad you guys liked it. Again, lots of information there. I'll go ahead and stop sharing. And I'm always available if any of you guys ever have any questions. So I'm gonna stop recording now. But yeah, and if you're watching on YouTube and you watched all the way through, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Ha.